We are now live.
Okay. Time's now 5:30, February 10th, 2022. Call to order the Board of Zoning Adjustments special call meeting. First order of business would be approval of our minutes for January 25th. Okay,
I second.
we have second. All in favor?
First
Aye.
and second. For me.
Aye.
Him and him. Get it first and I second.
All right.
Okay, we'll now recess into special call meeting into a public hearing to receive public comment on application for conditional use filed by J Car Properties and LLC for the property at 5488 US Highway 62 in Calvert City. J Car Properties LLC seeks a conditional use to permit.
Gary, because I have some direct or indirect financial interest in this as I sold the building to them, I'm going to recuse myself from this portion of the hearing and disconnect now, if that's okay with you.
That's fine. I saw your note on that, Willie, so that's fine.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Hey, Willie. And Gary, I represented J-Car in this transaction. And so I've got a conflict. You guys can, if both sides waive the conflict, that's fine. I'll go ahead and represent the board for purposes of this hearing. But if both sides don't agree, then I can't be involved.
Okay, now we'll ask the board members if they are okay to waive the conflict.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay, everybody's okay, Greg, can you hear us okay?
Is somebody there from J-Car?
Yes,
Is it okay with them?
yes, they say it is okay, both parties agree, everybody agrees.
Okay, if that's all right, then I'll go ahead and represent the board for purposes of this hearing.
Okay, you're good. All right, so it's J-Car Properties seeks a conditional use to permit equipment rental where activities are inside a building on the property, which is required per Calvert City zoning ordinance. So do we have any people who would like to come forward and?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have Diana J. Carlton, who's managing member of J Car Properties LLC, and I'll ask her to step up and be
Okay.
sworn in.
All right.
Diana, would you raise your right hand? State your name.
Diana J.
Do
Carlton.
you swear to tell the truth?
I do.
Okay, see,
We have purchased this building, 5488 Highway 62 here in Calvert. The purpose of our use for that building is office space in the front of the building for our daughter's planning business. It's called Carrie and Co. Event Planning. She actually did the last chamber dinner here at the building right down the street here. She put that on for you all, and she does weddings, and just, it's not particular to weddings, but she plans and coordinates outline vendors such as the venue vendor where she takes the brides or the people that are wanting to put the event on. She will take them to view those, and she will also help them with decide on a vendor for catering, for photography, for all of the things that are involved in an event, but there will never be an event at this building. The front 3 offices will be her assistants that work with her. I will be there we strictly, my husband and I bought the building to use for this purpose for her. We have equipment in our home currently, our barn, her 3 garages, a storage unit in Benton. So we merely needed a warehouse to put tables and chairs and her decorative backdrops and linens, dishes, all sorts of dishes. So the whole purpose for the building is for us to be able to put all of her equipment used for these events in one building. So she will also, in the center of the building, she'll have a showroom where we can display things for brides to come in and look at and make their decisions on how they want their reception to look. And but she'll have meetings there with the brides and make those decisions and sign their contracts. And That is really the purpose of the whole building. Only other thing that will be there that involves the events is when we cater or when we do these buildings, we have nothing to do with the food. The food is all catered by outside vendor. But we have been doing the dishes. If the venues that we use do not have a commercial kitchen, we are having to bring the dishes home that may be 200, 300, 400, 500 dishes at a time. And we are washing those in our home. So we have installed a commercial dishwasher for that purpose only. And not a commercial, but a washer and a dryer, and we'll have tables and places we can fold the linens that we use that we rent ourselves, because we do have our own linens to rent for these events. So that is the purpose, is to give us peace of mind and to come together and have one place to run her business for her, and to let people be able to see the I think I'm trying to say the equipment and the displays that we have, so they can make their choices easier rather than just having to look at pictures. That's the entire purpose of the building.
Mr. Chairman,
I'm sorry.
Yes.
the reason for the conditional use, the actual business, as long as it's as she's speaking, the daughter's business for the events planning and stuff like that, that's a matter of right. What makes a conditional use request necessary is if they were to rent the equipment for events, linens, tables, etc., separately of the services. And I believe that is there's something else that they would probably do where they might rent the equipment. I believe, Ms. Carlton, you can address that.
Yes, we do. There could be situations where Carrie is not involved at all. So people could come to us saying, we're going to put on a event here at one of your all's buildings here or in Paducah or anywhere. We just need your tables and your chairs, or we want to rent 600 dishes from you for this event, and they'll just come pick it up, or we'll deliver it to them even. We are doing some keep to the outside of the building. We're painting, putting a new roof on. We had to replace some of the heating and air units, which has already been done. Painting the inside of the building, putting new floors in the front offices, lighting fixtures and things like that. There will be a new sign affixed to the front of the building, but nothing freestanding out inside of in the front of the building. Just to make it look better and appropriate for what she's using the building for. So that's all we want to do, is have a business that would draw people to her to look for a planner that is appropriate for their event that they're having. And she's really good at what she does. She does have a website on Facebook that you all are more than welcome to look at and see some of the weddings and events she's done. She's been doing this at least 3 years professionally, and she actually did it on her own for friends and family for probably the last 8 or 9 years. I mean, she's done this for quite a while, and she's booked through into 23 and 24 some now. So it's a successful business, and it grew way faster than we anticipated.
It looks like more than adequate parking. You don't foresee any
Yeah,
problems
I
there.
don't, because she typically only meets with one client at a time.
Okay.
The only other people that would be there are myself, and she's trying to hire a few assistants that would come in and help us with the laundry issues or the washing the dishes and restocking them on the shelves. We want it very organized, and so that it would just be a few employees and herself and myself.
Okay.
And then a bride and groom, or whoever helps that bride or person doing the event. That would be the only parking issues. We have 2 covered trailers that will be parked out back, or one may stay at my house right now. One may stay at our house, and one at but that's pretty much it.
No questions? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Are you here to speak, or?
Well, I kind of look forward to having a good working relationship.
But we need you to
You'll
come.
need to come- Yeah.
Please.
Raise your right hand, state your name,
David Lloyd Smith,
do you swear to tell the truth?
I do. I met with Jeannie and I've met with Greg a couple of times concerning the buildings. Y'all know Lake Printers was the business there 2 years ago. And my father and Daryl, my brother and myself built the business actually from the ground up and had it for 46 years. So I was glad to see the Carltons come in and take it over. I think they're gonna be a good neighbor to have in my front yard, which y'all know I live right there. And it's like, I can throw a rock at it.
Literally your front yard.
It literally is in my front yard.
Yeah.
So, with what they have told me and, what I've seen done, it's gonna be a positive, something I think that they're gonna be good neighbors for us out there. So that's really all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so if there's no one else to speak, we'll go ahead and reconvene second call meeting. I guess now we'll consider the request. John, do you have any more input on it, or Greg?
When you guys are ready, I'll take us through the findings of fact that we have to do before you can make a decision. But if you have any discussion that you want to do beforehand, you can do that now.
The actual use is just equipment rental with inside storage. That's the actual use that you're considering.
The only thing I had was the sign, and she described that, so I'm good.
Okay. You good?
I'm fine. I was like him. I wondered about the sign, if there was gonna be one, something, but she covered that very well.
Sure did.
Okay. No further discussion, Greg, so go ahead.
All right. Do you find adequate evidence showing that the use at the proposed location is in fact a conditional use as established under the provisions of Article 7 and appears in the schedule of uses? And as your attorney, I will tell you, yes, it does. Bruce, you can, or Crystal or somebody can ask the yes, no question.
Yes.
Mr. Laws,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
Yes,
Do you find that the proposed use will be harmonious with and in accordance with the general objectives or any specific objective of the city's comprehensive plan and or zoning ordinance?
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory,
yes,
Mr. Laws.
Yes.
Do you find that the proposed use will be designed, constructed, operated, and maintained so as to be harmonious and appropriate in appearance with the existing or intended character of the general vicinity, and that such use will not change the essential character of the same area?
Mr. Gregory,
yes,
Mr. Laws,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Do you find that the proposed use will not be hazardous or disturbing to existing or future neighboring uses?
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Laws,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
yes,
Do you find that the proposed use may be served adequately by essential public facilities and services such as highways, streets, police and fire protection, drainage structures, refuse disposal, water and sewer, and schools, or that the persons or agencies responsible for the establishment of the proposed use will be able to provide adequately any such services?
Mr. Laws,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
yes,
Do you find that the proposed use will not create excessive additional requirements at public cost for public facilities and services and will not be detrimental to the economic welfare of the community?
Mr. Gregory,
yes,
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Laws.
Yes.
Do you find that the proposed use will not involve uses, activities, processes, materials, equipment, and conditions or operation that will be detrimental to any person's property or the general welfare by reason of excessive production of traffic, noise, smoke, fumes, glare, or odors?
Mr. Trailer,
yes,
Mr. Gregory,
Go ahead.
yes,
Mr. Laws.
Yes.
Do you find that the proposed use will have vehicular approaches to the property which shall be so designed as not to create an interference with traffic on surrounding public thoroughfares?
Mr. Laws,
Yes.
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
yes,
And do you find that the proposed use will not result in the destruction, loss, or damage of a natural, scenic, or historic feature of major importance?
Mr. Trailer,
Yes.
Mr. Laws,
Yes.
Mr. Gregory.
yes,
All
Having made
answers,
those, oh, yeah, go ahead.
all answers are in the affirmative.
And having made those findings, you may now entertain have further discussion or entertain a motion to grant or deny the conditional use permit.
I'll make a motion that we grant the conditional use permit for J. Carter Properties LLC.
and I'll second.
We have a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Very good.
Glad to have you.
Wish you best of luck. It sounds like good business.
We're excited to be part of the community. We live in Marshall County. We've only been here. We moved here in 94. So we've been here a while. My husband was part of Peel and Holland, if you all don't know who either one of us are, because we're not from here originally, but we're excited. We're excited to be part of Calvert also.
Wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you.
John, do we have any other business before us
I
tonight?
think that-
That's all.
That's all the agenda. It's a special call, so you can make a motion to adjourn.
You should warn them.
No, you go
I'll
ahead.
make a motion.
Have a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
Have a good evening, guys.
Thanks, Greg.
Okay.
Okay,
Well done.
John.
So if people have issues,
Yes.
call their, don't worry
Congratulations. We're glad to have you.
about. We're excited. Things going. Running in March.
Yeah. Gotta use, start firing.